got there hoping to stop, and it just came right back up on us and jumped on us.
With the 4th of July break just around the corner here in the Intercity League, we welcome you to another edition of Lexington Blue Sox Baseball here on the Blue Sox Baseball Network on YouTube. Sam Feely here with you from Maplewood Park at Malden Catholic High School, Malden, Mass. As Lexington Blue Sox, first in the ICL at 7-3-1, visit the Malden Maddogs with a record of 3-10. 7th out of 7 in the ICL. Top two scoring offenses in the Intercity League about to do battle, and these two teams also are home to the top two RBI getters in the ICL. Nick Anderson, S-E-N, as we found out earlier today, and we will update that accordingly on our stat sheet for you on the Intercity League. Hopefully before the night is through, or at least shortly after the game. Blue Sox coming off a tough 5-3 win over the Palmer Club of the Park League last time out. Mad Dogs, however, had were an extra point short of drawing with ADSL, the Park League, in a 14-13 loss over on Dodd Ave the other night. The top two scoring offenses in the Blue Sox at 74 runs, the Mad Dogs at 71. But the Blue Sox have allowed the fewest runs overall, second fewest runs overall, and the fewest runs per game entering play at 28. The Mad Dogs have allowed 104 runs. So despite the best efforts of Jake Hatch, the league leader in RBIs at 17, with Nick Anderson right behind him at 16, has not been enough to get the Mad Dogs fully out of the basement. 2 points back, which is one win of the Stoneham Sabres, but the Sabres also have 3 games in hand entering play tonight on the Mad Dogs. The Mad Dogs already more than halfway through their schedule, in fact. Mad Dogs sporting, I guess what you could call the first ever City Connect uniform in the history of the ICL. They've got black uniforms with gold striped sleeves, gold numbers, black letters outlined in gold, the traditional blue Mad Dogs caps. And the name on the front of the jersey is not Malden or Mad Dogs or even Dogs, it's The Wood for Maplewood. Blue Sox, however, in the Pete Frady's Classics, the navy blue jerseys with the red block letters, sleeves, and numbers. There's the Blue Sox with the top scoring offense and by game the best scoring defense in the ICL. But if you apply the Pythagorean win-loss formula to most of these teams of the ICL, you'll see that the theme league-wide is, honestly, bad luck. The Blue Sox very easily could be 9-1-1 if their total run differential of 74-28 over the course of the season, was consistent across all their games. But that's 2 games they could have otherwise won, turned into losses, and keeping them within striking distance of the Andre Chiefs. 6-4 entering play tonight, a game in hand on the Blue Sox, but even they could be 8-2 if their run differential 66 to 35 over the course of the season held consistent. Mad Dogs actually might be are unfortunately only slightly ahead of the pace, just right about on the pace they should be with their run differential. But that's baseball for you, baby. Remember that the Blue Sox, they've been shut out twice this season. Once that 0-0 9-inning draw with the Expos on opening night, and then the 5-0 loss to TJO Sports. And then, of course, they had the 3-2 loss to Brighton last week at Brandeis. And then, of course, there's the 10-3 loss to Melrose. It was fallen a bit back down to earth in recent games, but they actually do have the second best points percentage in the ICL. They're actually a little bit ahead of Andre's pace at 11 points through 9 games compared to 12 through 10 for Andre. The Blue Sox in the lead right now in the ICL, 7-3-1, 15.682 points percentage, but very easily could be 9-1-1 were it not for those aberrations, I guess you could say, against TJO and Melrose. Because you take away if you take away the 3 losses, so in their losses, the Blue Sox have been outscored 18-5. So that means in their wins, and obviously you can easily eliminate the draw against the Expos because that was scoreless. In the wins, they've been outscoring their opponents 69-10. That's pretty nice, I'd say. And they beat the Mad Dogs last time out on the day of baseball, the same day as the Blue Sox 30th anniversary reunion. 8-0. There's another shutout for another high-scoring affair in favor of the Blue Sox. But no mercy rule at hand here. We're going to play a full 7 as long as the city of Malden will let us as the Mad Dogs take the field. Rick D'Angelo's giving one last pep talk to his players as the Blue Sox get ready to face the Malden starter, Rob Carrillo. He has 2 of the Mad Dogs' 3 wins this year. He's 2-0 with a 0.7 ERA in 20 innings and 4 appearances. He has allowed 11 hits, 4 runs, only 2 of which are earned, walked 4, struck out 20, surrendered 1 home run. He has not faced the Blue Sox this season. He has only faced 1 ICL opponent this season. That was the Stoneham Sabres on June 18th. Got the win in 6 innings, allowing 3 hits, 1 earned run with 3 walks and 3 Ks. Maybe his best performance of the season, a no decision against the South End Astros, the base, on June 11th. 6 innings, did not allow a run, only 3 hits, no walks at 11 Ks. Last time out against the Boston Padres, 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 unearned runs, no walks, and 2 Ks. See how things pan out for Carrillo here as we are ready for some baseball. Give you the full lines for both sides as we continue to get settled in here. And here is Ben Leonard to lead things off for the Lexington Blue Sox. We are up close and personal against the backstop here tonight with the camera. So unfortunately, with the short distance of the backstop here, the view of the base of the corner bases is cut off. But Carrillo fires the first pitch at 8:09. It's outside. We are underway. 1-0 is the count to Ben Leonard. You can sit there. That's fine. say. 2-1. Unfortunately, this setup also makes things difficult for pedestrians. I deeply apologize, folks, but folks at home in years past, all they'd get is, the grade of the backstop in between the camera and the actual action. This is trying to improve the viewing experience at home, and I don't know if you folks want to tell me what you think of this compared to past years, especially considering, with the corner bases cut off, but that'll be a ball, and it'll be 3-2 to Ben Leonard. Let me know in the comments. Remember, subscribers only, as it always has been for the chat, but it costs nothing to subscribe, nor does it cost anything to support your local loudmouth. Down the right field line into the corner, Leonard way out in front of that one, and it'll remain 3-2. Leonard enters play, 571 average in 6 games, 14 at-bats, 1 double, 1 triple, and 7 ribbies, 3 walks to 1 strikeout. What's it going to be here? Base hit, ball 4 and out. It'll be a fly ball into left field, and it'll be caught for out number 1. So good at-bat, a good battle to start the ball game by Leonard, but he is retired on an opposite field flyout for the first out of the ball game. And it'll bring up the shortstop, Anderson Jimenez. That'll be in there for a strike, and the count will be 0-1 to AJ, who is entering play at 185 his batting average with 2 doubles and 2 ribbies. AJ comes up empty, and the count will be 0-2. Leonard, Anderson Jimenez, and Nick Anderson due up here to start the top of the first if anybody gets on. The designated hitter, Julian Alvarez. A little bit of a starter step from Carrillo, and a swing and a miss. Strike 3 to Anderson Jimenez. Good morning, good night, afternoon, and good night, AJ. Quickly 2 up, 2 down. And here is the aforementioned Nick Anderson. 16 RBIs entering play tonight. Second in the ICL. OPS of 1375, 1 double, 3 triples, 2 homers, and 16 ribbies, 6 walks to 9 strikeouts, 3 out of 4 in stolen base attempts. Able to hold off on a pitch down and in, and the count will be 1-0 to Anderson. Mentioned Hatch, the man he is 1 behind in the RBI lead in the ICL. He bats third, and he's playing second base for the Mad Dogs tonight. That'll be on the outside corner, and that'll even the count at 1. 1-1 is the count to Nick Anderson. What a find he's been for the Lexington Blue Sox this year. 1-1, take it on the outside corner, and the count will be 1-2. This is your first time watching a Lexington Blue Sox game being played at Malden Catholic at Maplewood, as that is downstairs for ball 2. The field really is that odd. It is 345 down the lines and 335 to dead center. And from what I understand, it's similarly oblong over at the new varsity field across the rotary from here. It's been a while since I've worked that one. I think I did a Blue-Gray USA event a few years ago there, but I didn't really, again, it's just the only time I'd ever worked that side of Maplewood, and should have checked in with Steve Frecker yesterday at the Firecracker event at UMass Boston. All right, 2-2 again to Anderson. Grounder to the right side, and that'll get through for a 2-out base hit. So Anderson is aboard to keep the line moving, and here's the veteran Julian Alvarez. Jules getting the start as a DH tonight. He's playing his 8th game, 18 at-bats, a 278 average, 2 doubles, no homers, 6 ribbies. Wearing Rick DeAngelis' 25, which Rick himself adopted from his Favorite Red Sox as a young man? Can you believe Rick was ever a young man? Tony Canigliaro. Tony C. That hit him? Nope. Just well inside for ball one. I don't know, remember I said Anderson, 3 of 4 in stolen base. He's a tall dude over there, by the way. Looking at him at first base. And go back over. That length helps him get back to the bag quicker, that's for sure. Maplewood isn't just an oblong field in terms of the outfield dimensions, though. Another check on the runner. He's back safely. Around home plate, actually, home plate itself and like the little area around it is slightly elevated. Like it's like basically kind of lifted a little bit. Can't really see it from this angle, obviously. There goes Anderson. The pitch is a ball. Throw down to second is not in time. Got away from the shortstop cutting across. So it'll be 2-0 to Alvarez and a stolen base for Anderson, his 4th of the season. So runner in scoring position with a 2-0 count to Alvarez and 2 away in the top of the first. Blue Sox looking for the opening marker here. Carrillo bent at the waist, comes set. And the 2-0, here it is. Alvarez swings, grounds out down the third baseline. That is a fair ball. Anderson will score easily. Alvarez turns at first. He's on his way to second, and he will get there standing with a double. So Anderson and Alvarez trade places, and it is 1-0 Blue Sox. Double number 3 and RBI number 7 for Jules. And here is Mitch McCabe. Talk about another find for the Blue Sox this year. The Pace alum takes high for ball 1. That's in there for a strike, and the count will be 1-1. McCabe playing in his 6th game, 428 average and 14 ABs, 1143 OPS, 3 doubles and 5 ribbies. That'll be down away, and the count will be 1-1. 2-1 rather. McCabe deep to left. That's a home run anywhere, not just Maplewood. Three 3-0 Blue Sox. No Maplewood special necessary on that one. McCabe's first Blue Sox homer and his 6th and 7th ribbies. One of those ones you just know off the sound of the bat. Then again, I've been saying that about a lot of balls the Blue Sox have hit this season, and it was a fool's errand, alas. Here is Max Dushny trying to match Mitch with that mash, and comes up empty. 0-1. 0-2 to Dush, who has been phenomenal defensively, and Blue Sox getting some good production from Dush and the rest of the catching core as well on the offensive side. So Blue Sox with another one of their patented 2-out, nobody on rallies, but Dushny takes strike 3 called on the outside corner. That'll do it for the top of the first. Blue Sox score 3 runs on 3 hits, leave nobody, and after half an inning, Blue Sox 3 and the Mad Dogs coming up. Now again, we're still getting situated here. We got a late start to setting everything up because there was soccer practice here at Maplewood right before the game was supposed to start, and so it was this late start for everyone to just get anything started because we didn't have the whole field. Kind of hard to do I.O. when you can't do the O part. But Chris Wanted is on the mound for the Blue Sox. Wannet's making his 4th appearance of the season. He is 1-1-1 with a 2.10 ERA in 13 1/3 innings. He has allowed 11 hits, 4 earned runs, walked nobody, and struck out 13. Pitched 5 innings of that and got the decision of a tie in the opening night draw, scoreless draw against the Expos. Took the loss in 4 1/3 innings against TJO in the one loss, tough 5-0 loss the Blue Sox took after putting up 26 runs over the previous 2 games. Last time out against these Mad Dogs on June 15th, got the win in 4 innings, just allowed 1 hit and no runs while striking out 7. So this is his first appearance since then, and we'll see if the long layoff affects him and may open a window for the Mad Dogs to try and claw into this early deficit. We will open the iris on the camera in just a moment, we promise. But let's get ready for the bottom of the first, shall we? First pitch is a strike to Hector Roman. The Mad Dogs center fielder takes the ball, and it is 1-1. Roman with a fly ball into center field, backing up and a little bit of a plie, but hauled in by Anderson for out number 1. Here's Eric Ramirez. Mad Dogs shortstop comes up empty there, 0-1. Played just his 3rd game for the Mad Dogs this season, but has been quite good. 6 for 9 with a double and 4 ribbies. And 3 steals in 2 games. Hits this one into right center field. On his horse is Anderson. Tracks it down. 2 down. I misspoke. Ramirez being the 3rd baseman, not the shortstop. But here's Hatch. Entered play tonight. 1 ahead of Anderson for the league lead in RBI. Still maintains that. Anderson merely scored a run in that top of the first. He's behind 0-1 here. Oh! Pine Tar's legal in this league, right? It's 0-2. That's the first time I've seen a bat get lost in the bushes here in Maplewood rather than a baseball. Yeet, as the kids say. Got some extra on that this time, right, man? I don't blame him not swinging. I don't want to risk losing in a second one in 2 pitches. Fouls that one off. That's an outcome we're more used to around these parts. Is it an official broadcast if they foul off the bat itself to the third base side? Here's a grounder to third. Easy peasy 1-2-3-Z for Chris Wannett. 1 inning in the books, 3-0 Blue Sox.
How many balls? 12? 20? Yeah.
All right, now I realize I'm setting myself up for maybe the most brutal announcer jinx of all time, but for all these stats I've given you about, how lucky or unlucky the Blue Sox and other teams in the ICL have been this year, I don't know how much of a factor interleague play has played into this, but the largest deficit that a team has overcome in a Blue Sox game this year, whether it was the Blue Sox or the opposing team, was 1 run. This year, anytime a team in a Blue Sox game, whether it was the Blue Sox or the opposition, got out to a 2-run lead or greater, they went on to win. So the Blue Sox getting 3 in the first might be a good omen, or we'll see if that'll be a motivating factor for the Mad Dogs to try and come back. But the 1-2-3 bottom of the first obviously didn't help that cause. 1-1 is the count to Mrs. Vander Zouwen's baby boy. VZ Dub getting the start in right field tonight. Watches that one go down away, and the count will be 2-1. David Vander Zouwen, .250 average in 9 games so far this year. Takes on the outside edge for strike 2 to even the count at 2. Carrillo getting set, delivers the 2-2. Fouled off, will do it again. Vander Zouwen, Zawatsky, and Lisko due up here in the top of the second. If anyone gets on, Dylan Walsh. Carrillo comes set. 2-2 again. A little excuse me swing grounder to second, picked up there by Hatchin on to first for out number 1. So Vander Zouwen is retired, and here is Jake Zawatsky, the third baseman. Been seeing more and more two-way players for the Blue Sox in recent years. Zawatsky's one of them. Chops this one to short and nicked off the glove of the shortstop. And Zawatsky will reach. That'll be an error on the shortstop and put a runner at first with 1 out for Lisko. Lisco watches that one go outside for ball one. 1-1 is the count. Lisco fouls that one to the screen. 1-1. Lisco doesn't have a hit yet this year. Does have one RBI and one walk. Two and one. So, like I was saying about what I was going to say about home plate here at Maple, in addition to the outfield dimensions being oblong, like the home plate itself is actually, and the turf directly surrounding is a little raised here, a little elevated. One of the Blue Sox players before the game was joking about how it's almost as tall as the pitching rubber. It's not that. It's a joke. This will be a grounder up the middle and past the diving shortstop into center field for a base hit. So the first hit of the season for AJ. First and second, nobody out for Dylan Walsh. So Zawatsky reaches on the 6, and then Lisco with a base hit back up the box past the diving shortstop, and see what Walsh can do. Infield playing back here, not holding on the runners. The third baseman is well off the line, though, for the left-handed hitting Walsh, and we're going to have to hold up for a moment. It's more of a defensive shift than really any kind of reaction to Walsh's tendencies as a hitter. Although Ross Curley, Fantasy Award number 4 for all those years for the Blue Sox, was one of the first ICL batters I had ever seen shifted against. Still hit 300, every year of his career. Of course, those were in the later years of Ross's career, and it wasn't even because Ross may or may not have been slowing down. It's just big league strategies bleed into other levels of baseball, and they were doing it in the ICL to Ross. But fat lot of good that did, obviously. Future Hall of Famer, still has to be a steak dinner. 1-2. I actually officially retracted those demands for a steak dinner from Ross, like last summer or the summer before, having a discussion with him about some stuff. Here's a pick at first base on the grounder there to second for one, on to first, not nearly in time. They get the man in the middle, 2 down, now runners at the corners. Lineup turns over for Ben Leonard, who flew out to left to begin the ball game. So you got Zawatsky at third and Walsh at first after the fielder's choice. 2 down. And Leonard, who's in the extra hitter slot tonight, takes ball 1 down and away. I was talking to Ross, and I will often tell you that, apart from my father, Rick DeAngelis is the single individual who is most responsible for, the success I've achieved professionally. Here's the grounder to second, on to first in time, and Carrillo and company get out of the jam unscathed. Still 3-0 Blue Sox after a buck and a half. So I often talk about how Rick DeAngelis is the single individual, apart from my father, most responsible for my professional success, me continuing, to do whatever it is I do, pretending I know what I'm talking about for money, et cetera, et cetera. And I just mentioned that, the Blue Sox, as a whole, I keep coming back because, this is, where my broadcasting career really, got its start, and I'm forever indebted to Rick and the Blue Sox for the opportunities I've gotten. Roscoe was also responsible for me continuing to be a part of the Blue Sox family. Not that the organization was ever considering cutting ties with me. I know that, Rick has, been there for me where I think a lot of, management types in any industry wouldn't be, and I'm sure some of you out there probably know someone or know someone who knows someone like that. But Ross, Ross was another endorsement for me to continue working with the Blue Sox. He knew what I was capable of doing when I was covering games at LHS with Jim Akimchuk, and even, doing my first Blue Sox broadcast with Jim, and said, Sam knows what he's doing, et cetera, et cetera. And Ross, if you're out there watching, I can't thank you enough for that endorsement. I know I already thanked you for that when you told me about it, but hey, when I say you people mean the world to me on these broadcasts, I mean it. Wannick gets the outside corner there, and he pulls back even in the count. 2-2. 1-2-3 inning in the top of the bottom of the first. This one's a chopper to second on to first. 4 straight retired here. As Sam Browning is retired, the third baseman. Browning entering play. 1126 OPS. No extra base hits, but 5 ribbies and 9 walks to 4 strikeouts, but is retired there. Is a player I don't have on the Mad Dogs roster here batting right now. 1-2 is the count. Fouled off. That'll be in the turf, as it were, as opposed to the dirt. 2-2. That's on the outside corner for strike 3 called. So it'll be up to Jacob Rogue to try and keep the line moving. Jake is the shortstop for the Mad Dogs. He's behind 0-1. Rogue entering play at 2:27 as he is behind 1-2. Did not play in the game against the Blue Sox on June 15th. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another 1-2-3 inning for Chris Wanett. Still 3-0 Blue Sox after 2. So as we go to the top of the third, there we go, if I did accurately in the score bug now. And you know, I should probably turn up the iris. 1 second, folks. Actually, realized that a little too late. All right, here we go. Top of the third. Carrillo back out there for the Mad Dogs. And he will deal with Jimenez, Anderson, and Alvarez. Jimenez struck out swinging his first time up. Going to try and butt his way on, but pulls back in time as that runs inside for ball one. Grounder to the left side, fielded at third. On to first. Quickly, 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the third. So Jimenez is 0 for 2, and here's Nick Anderson. Anderson got the party started in the top of the first with a 2-out single, then stole second and traded places with Julian Alvarez. Little grounder to short, charged, scooped onto first and off line to the right field side of the bag, and Anderson is aboard for the second time. Well, the Mad Dogs were able to escape danger despite a runner reaching on a 1-out error last inning. Will they be so lucky here is the question. As Jules settles in for the second time, picking up an RBI double his last time up. Carrillo delivers, and Alvarez a little dribbler up the first base line. Foul for strike one. Three runs, 4 hits, no errors, 2 left for the Blue Sox. No runs, no hits, 1 error, nobody left for the Mad Dogs. We play the top of the third, 3-0 our score. Blue Sox getting all 3 of their runs with 2 outs in the top of the first. 0-1 is the count to Alvarez. Anderson on first. Carrillo delivers upstairs, and the count will even at 1. Runner goes, pitch is downstairs, and Nick Anderson with another multi-steal game. He had 2 steals in the loss to TJO during his Sun run in the middle of June. But he was caught stealing, trying to score what would have been the tying run in that game when the Blue Sox were only down 1-0. He's going for third. The throw is not in time. 3 steals in the first 3 innings for Nick Anderson. Maplewood turf, however, has been kind of notorious for being easy to overslide on. But Anderson is now 90 feet away for Alvarez with 1 out. That is on the inside corner, and that'll fill the count. And Alvarez comes up empty. 2 down. Third strikeout for Carrillo. And it'll be up to Mitch McCabe to try and bring home Anderson. 2-run home run for McCabe, his first time up. Deep to left, no doubt about it. And that'll be outside for ball one. Up the middle and in there for a base hit. Not sure if McCabe was, did he break his bat there? Well, whatever gets the run home, huh? He has a 3 RBI game. Anderson scores. He's got 2 runs to his name. And the Blue Sox now lead 4-0. Here's Dushney taking strike 1 on the outside corner. He was called out on strikes to end the top of the first. At the knees for strike 2, 0-2. Don't forget to vote in our Who You Got poll. You got the Blue Sox, you got the Mad Dogs, or you got Joey Chestnut. I know, he's not in the contest this year, but he's still a winner in all of our hearts, right? Oh, if only George Shea could enlighten all of us the way he does on the microphone at Nathan's. A swing and a miss by Dushney. He is down on strikes for the second time, but Mitch McCabe breaks his bat, but brings home another run in the process, and it's 4-0 Blue Sox after 2.5. We go to the bottom of the third, and it'll be strike 1 delivered by Chris Wannett. Blue Sox leading 4-0 after picking up another run on one more hit and one more error and leaving one in that top half. Wannett working quickly. No 3-pitch strikeout there. It'll go to 1-2. Oof. Definitely looked low, but that's a spot that a lot of umpires will give you if you've been good. So from 0-2 to 2-2, and a swing and a miss. Umpire ruled Dush held onto it. Well, clearly the 2+ week layoff for Chris Wannett has not affected him adversely so far, and he's ahead of another batter, 0-2. Colin Kinsella able to hold up on that one. Still behind 1 and 2. 461 OPS for Colin. Grounder, and Wanet's got it. PFP, 2 out. First pitch strikes. I preach the importance of getting the leadoff man on, but it's also massively important to get ahead of your hitters with the first strike, and that is what Wanek continues to do. Fill up the strike zone, not wasting any pitches, not wasting any time. 0-2 is the count. We fouled out of play. Ryan Rometta playing in his 8th game of the season. 318 is his average. As a team, the Mad Dogs are hitting 327, but not tonight. Wanet has gotten through the Mad Dogs order through the first 3 innings, first full trip. Go to the top of the 4th, still 4-0 Blue Sox. Anything for you, Mrs. Vander Zowen? Absolutely. We already been given the assignment to correct the spelling on Nick Anderson's last name. This is the last game day in the Intercity League before the traditional 4th of July break, and the teams ICL will be back in action on Sunday with the base visiting the Stoneham Sabres at 4 o'clock on Sunday, and Melrose visiting the Lexington Bulldogs at 5 o'clock on Sunday. Elsewhere in the ICL tonight, the Bulldogs are visiting the Al Thomas Athletics, although that game is being played at LHS, even though it's an Al Thomas home game. And Andre and Middlesex in ICL action as opposed to interleague action over at Eastie right now. Hey, Teddy Juba, how you doing? Top of the 4th, Carrillo going back to work against Vander Zowen, Sawatsky, and Lisko. And Vander Zowen comes up empty for strike 1. Maybe having his name misspelled on the roster is what's holding him back, right, Mrs. Vander Zowen? I don't know. Or maybe not. Gap shot in the left center field. Bounces for an automatic double. Or maybe that just motivates him, right? Spell my name, spell my name. It's right there in the email with every single detail. The spelling doesn't change. Believe me, I know. I guess I just chased Tucker with that one. Embrace the cringe. Leadoff double for Vander Zowen. Here's Sawatsky. Reach on air his first time up. And Jake fouls that one off. Talking about the uptick in two-way players in the ICL in recent years, especially the Blue Sox. Manny Del Carmen has had some decent ABs for the Blue Sox, although he's not, he's never been a two-way player for us on the regular. Grounder the other way, but that'll go foul. The count will be 0-2. Ryan O'Rourke, his first year with the Blue Sox. An OPS of, I think, of 900. It'll be interesting to see what becomes of Jack Canaglione, the Florida prospect, who's expected to be a top pick in the MLB draft later this month. That swung on and missed for strike 3. And Sawatsky is 0 for 2. One down for Lisco. Hunter Green of the Reds was, touted as a, two-way phenom. Right around the same time, Ohtani was starting to, make roots in MLB. But he's just been a pitcher for the Reds. Even though the National League has a designated hitter now, as Lisco is behind 0-1. He singled his first time up. First base of the year, in fact, for AJ. Will he make it 2 for 2? He will! Into right center field for a base hit. Around third is Vanderzouwen, and he will score standing up. 5-0. Well, that is going to force a pitching change here by the Mad Dogs. Lisco picking up his first 2 base hits of the year and an RBI in the process to chase Carrillo. Julian Nelson is going to take over on the mound for the Mad Dogs. He's making his, read the top line. Boy, yeah, I'll say. 1 second. More on Julian Nelson's season after this. I've had worse happen. Much worse, in fact. So as I was saying, Nelson making his 4th appearance of the season, only his 2nd against an ICL foe. No decisions, 4 1/3 innings, an 11.32 ERA, 2 hits, 8 runs, 7 of which are earned, walked 7, struck out 3. Last pitch on June 27th against TJO, pitched 3 innings, allowed 2 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which are earned, walked 3, and struck out 1. It's the home plate umpire, so it is 1-1. Ooh. Might have been a little bit outside, but that is strike 2 to Dillon. 1-2. He is 0 for 1. Reach on fielder's choice his first time up. Is he able to hold up here? He might be a little itchy trying to join the hit parade. 5-0 game, and you know how good Malden's offense is. Don't want to give him any breathing room. Don't want to give him any hope. I'll be fouled off the other way. 2-2 still. Blue Sox now with 5 runs on 7 hits. Mitch McCabe is 2 for 2 with a homer and 3 ribbies. Nick Anderson is 1 for 2 with 3 steals and 2 runs. All strikes out swing. That turns over the lineup for Ben Leonard. Leonard 0 for 2 out of the leadoff spot so far. In fact, the top 2 hitters of the Blue Sox lineup are a combined 0 for 4. Haven't reached base at all yet. Leonard will fly out to left and ground out to second. And Anderson Jimenez, who's due up next, strikeout swing and ground out to third. But Leonard is ahead here, 1-0. It's a new Mad Dogs pitcher, Julian Nelson. And Leonard able to hold up there, and he is ahead 2-0. Is that me, or was that someone else? All right. Way outside 3-0. Just wanted to make sure. Three and 0 count for Ben Leonard. You have the green light here is the question. Held up. Strike one, 3-1. Oh, boy. And that is low for ball 4. Tried to sneak that breaking ball into the front door, but to no avail. Leonard is aboard for the first time tonight, picking up the walk, and here is AJ. I'm sure Tina is not happy knowing that there's sky booms here, too. It's not even fireworks day. It's not even July 4th yet. 1-0 is the count. To Jimenez. Again, 0 for 2, but hoping to change his fortunes here. One and one. Have to be a little down and in, but Blue Sox don't seem to be too perturbed by it. Think of it a little closer than 5-0. Would be maybe a little more restless, but Jimenez behind, 1-2. Sorry, Rob. Swing and a miss. That pitch gets away from the catcher. Throw to first is in time to complete the strikeout and end the inning. So the Mad Dogs avoid the huge inning once again, only giving up the 1 run on the single by Lisco, but they trail 5-0 as we are halfway home. Five runs on 7 hits for the Blue Sox. They've had a base hit in every inning so far, and at least 1 run in every inning except the second. Lineup turns over for Hector Roman to begin the bottom of the 4th for the Mad Dogs, and Roman will acknowledge strike 1 there. One and one is the count. Two and one. A rare worst count tonight so far for the Mad Dogs. That is on the outside corner to make it 2-2. A bobbled, scooped at third, throw on to first, not in time. That took a wicked hop over there at third base. That should be the first base hit of the ball game for the Mad Dogs. Well, you've seen no hitters in perfect games, broken up on worse plays, but just hey, pressure's off. Let's go back to work and see if you can push your team the rest of the way to a win. So what? As many coaches or players would tell you, a win is a win is a win. 1-0 is the count to Eric Ramirez. Swinging out of the shoes there and coming up empty to make it 1-1. Or he fouled it off. I'm surprised he actually made contact there. Roman at first. Good speed, but a 5-0 ball game. You don't want to run yourself into outs. Little blooper into right center field. Maybe some miscommunication there by the right and center fielder, but able to make the catch. Then the throw back to first gets away, and Roman's going to get to second anyways on the error. Well, you don't want to run yourself into outs, but you also don't want to give the offense extra outs to play with there. I think at this point, you're just better off throwing it into the cutoff man and just keeping him at first. Don't try to be too cheeky and try to double him up. I know you got all the momentum in the world right now if you're the Blue Sox, but play it smart. Ramirez does end up flying out, but Roman advances on the error on the throw back to the bag. Hatch looking to add to his league-leading RBI total, is behind 0-2. Still no RBI yet for Anderson tonight, so although he has scored a couple of runs. Base hit could extend that lead and take that goose egg away from its residence next to the Mad Dogs logo on the bottom right corner of your screen. It is still 0-2 to Hatch, with Roman at first after the tough hop at third allowed him to reach on the first base hit of the night for the Mad Dogs, and the error allowing him to get to second base after the flyout by Ramirez. 0-2 the count with 1 out and a runner in scoring position for the Mad Dogs. Ramirez, not just the first base hit of the night for the Mad Dogs, but the first base runner period. Wanted to retire the first 9 in order. 0-2 is the count to Hatch. Juan looks at second, comes home with it, and it's fouled off. Do it again at 0-2. Good battle here by Hatch. Trying to, like I said earlier, cannot overestimate the importance of getting the leadoff man on, gets the pitcher working from the stretch quicker, and getting the rhythm that Juan has been on tonight. Another tough fly ball, this one to right field, and well, the throw was on line this time, and play there might have been Ramirez trying to sneak a tag from behind on Roman walking back to second, but just another fly out, 2 down. Here is Sam Browning, 0 for 1 with a ground out to second on his ledger so far. And a fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Blue Sox hoping to pick up another win here and extend their lead in the ICL before the 4th of July break. And three other ICL teams, 2 other games on the calendar tonight. Bulldogs, quote-unquote, visiting the Al Thomas Athletics at LHS. And the Chiefs and the Expos, rematch of last year's championship series over at East Boston Stadium. Oh, 2 to Browning. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Mad Dogs get their first hit. Their first run will have to wait. We're through 4, 5-0. Nick Anderson to lead things off here in the top of the 5th. Way outside for ball 1. Anderson 1 for 2. Scored 2 runs. Stolen 3 bases. Reached on errors last time. He's ahead of Nelson here, 3-0. Mad Dogs getting their first hit of the ball game in the bottom of the 4th, but ended up stranding the leadoff man Roman in scoring position. And now Anderson picks up a leadoff walk. Now, marks the 2nd consecutive inning that the Blue Sox have gotten the leadoff man aboard. They didn't get the leadoff man on in each of the first 3. But that didn't hurt them really in the slightest, especially in the first inning. The first 2 were retired before Anderson, again, got that party started. He's going again! 4 of a kind? You bet. 4th steal of the game for Anderson. So Alvarez has a man in scoring position. Traded places with Anderson back in the 1st with an RBI double. Struck out swing his last time up. Breaking ball. Oh, that was a beautiful roundhouse curve, but didn't get the call. Up and in. Ladies and gentlemen, it's steal number 5. Anderson just running roughshod, quite literally. And now Alvarez picks up the walk. So back-to-back walks to begin the inning. Anderson suddenly turning into 1990 Ricky Henderson here. Runners at the corners with nobody out for McCabe. We've already seen what he can do to a baseball tonight. One and 0 is the count to McCabe. 2-0. McCabe with a 2-run homer and an RBI single. And gonna have a mound conference here. Kinsella going out to have a word with Nelson. Fouled off. Oftentimes, when a pitcher's having trouble finding the strike zone, and the catcher and or the manager go out to have a word with him, you as a hitter are thinking, well, you want whatever they said must be good, right? So you want to ambush him, assuming he's going to throw a cookie, but McCabe didn't make that one crumble. That one goes to the backstop. Remember, it's a very short backstop here at Maplewood, so no chance for Anderson to come home, but Alvarez will go to second. So the count is 3-1, and there are 2 runners in scoring position. It just sounds painful. Full count. Dushney on deck. Nelson comes set and delivers. And read line 2. Still 3-2 here. With nobody out in the top of the 5th. Blue Sox already on top 5-0. Breaking ball, there's strike 3 called. There's the strikeout. I'm sure Nelson was hoping to get on Alvarez, but he gets it there for his 3rd K already. 1 down for Dush. Well, it's 1 down. 2 more to get out here, though, for Nelson. Boy, whatever Kinsella had to say after he fell behind McCabe 2-0 has worked so far. Able to hold up, we think, and he did. So it is 1-2. Dush hoping to avoid the hat trick here. He's already been struck out twice, both the hands of Cardillo, the starter. Oof! That curveball has gotten better as Nelson's appearance has progressed. Dushney down on strikes for the 3rd time. Back-to-back backwards Ks for Nelson, and now will be up to David Vanderzauwen. 0-1. Well, Nelson, we'll see if this will light a fire under his teammates. His performance on the mound here. That, however, is low for a ball, and the count will be 1-1. Oh, boy. At some point, you just got to keep throwing it until they can prove they can hit it. 1-2. 2-2. This curveball's working wonders. He's feeling it. 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So many Uncle Charlies, and then the Express to finish off. David Vanderzowen after the first two reached on walks. We're through 4.5, still 5-0 Blue Sox. Well, for Tucker, this one isn't for the gram, it's for his own personal memories, as Luke Deschanel is taking the mound for the Blue Sox. Lawrence Ting to lead things off for the Mad Dogs. He struck out looking his first time up. I'm sure he's glad to see Chris Wannett go, but not glad to come up empty at that one. It is 0-1 to the Mad Dogs right fielder. And Ting, well, he's not going to allow Deschanel to get on the level of cruise control that Wannett was on, but he is now behind 0-2 after taking strike two there. One and two. Ting, Roque, and Beechin due up for the Mad Dogs here. Fastball a little high. And from 0-2 to 2-2. Fouled off. Close the book on Chris Wannett, 4 innings of one hit ball, and Ting is rung up for the second time. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's Roque. He struck out swinging to end the second, his first time up. Fouls that one off for strike one, and that nearly took Beechin out with him on the ricochet off the screen there. Beechin the on deck circle. Watch your lips. 0-1. Fouled off, but I don't think anyone's going to have to worry about it. Didn't get over the screen. I coach Butterfield in the first base coaches box? Always took out this time. What are you doing to your own teammates, man? Fly ball into right field. Caught on the run for out number 2. By the way, in addition to Deschanel, a couple other defensive changes for the Blue Sox. Joe Auger is now in the game at first base for A.J. Lisco, and Chuck Capello is at second base for Dylan Walsh, and they are in their respective slots in the order, and they are respectively due up second and third in the top of the 6th, as that'll be strike 1 to Beechin. 0-2. Beechin struck out swinging his first time up. I'm going to keep the inning alive here. Not a bad idea there. See if he'll chase. Nope, 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Mad Dogs. In the bottom of the 5th. To the 6th we go. 5-0 Blue Sox. So we'll go to the top of the 6th. Nelson's still out there for the Mad Dogs, and he will face Zawadzki, Auger, and Capello. Zawadzki 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout to his credit so far. And read line 3. It is 1-0. Zawadzki is facing Nelson for the first time this game. Got that walk and strike out the hands of the starter, Carrillo. That'll be on the outside corner, 3-1. Inside, and another base on balls for Jake Zawadzki. Anything that takes up the OBP, right? So here is Joe Auger getting his first cuts of the night, and we're going to have to wait first. Is that going to be it for Nelson, or just a little pep talk here? All right. So another leadoff walk issued by Nelson Walked the first two last inning, but got out of that one unscathed. We'll see if he fares any better against Auger here. Well, back to the breaking ball, it looks like. All reliable for him, apparently. 0-1 the count to Auger, again getting his first plate appearance of the game here. Coming in defensively in the bottom of the fifth, and Auger is behind 0-2. Whoa. 1-2. Auger does not have a hit yet this year, but has scored 2 runs and has an RBI. Read line 4. Didn't get on top of that one, but you could tell what he's trying to do there with another breaking ball. Stayed high, but too high for Auger to try and crush. 2-2. Runner goes, pitches inside, and a mishandle on the transfer behind the plate allows Zawatsky to pick up the steal. So the count will be 3-2, and Zawatsky now in scoring position after the stolen base. Breaking ball drops in there for strike 3 called. That's now 6 strikeouts for Nelson. One down, and here's Chucky Capello getting his first cuts of the ball game. Takes a curveball in the outside corner for strike 1. It's such a fast-moving curveball, too. Much faster than what you usually see. By no means a fastball, but, like, no time to react to such sharp break. Tried to come back to the inside corner there, but it's 1-2. So Capello getting his first cuts after Walsh went 0 for 2, reaching on a fielder's choice and striking out swinging. Walsh, in fact, was the first casualty of Nelson's outing, and Nelson continues his march here. Seven Ks now. We have a pinch hitter for Ben Leonard. It's John Carlos Ramirez. And he takes ball 1. So Leonard finishes the night 0 for 2. And John Carlos comes up empty there. 1-1. Down away 2-1. Not sure. I don't know off the top of my head if Nelson has faced Ramirez before, but Blue Sox fans know that, if he hangs a breaking ball there, it's probably ending up in the Encore poker room. 2-2. So just keep it in that spot. No way you're going to touch it. Runner goes, fouled off. Five steals tonight by Nick Anderson. Zawatsky picking up the 6th stolen base for the team earlier this inning. Popped up foul and heads. No. Do it again. Blue Sox held hitless in an inning for the first time last inning. Can Nelson do it again here? 2-2 to Ramirez. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Did it again. Boy. Like Satchel Paige telling the defense to just go off the field and let him take care of it. Every out Nelson has picked up in his outing has been by way of the K. 8 Ks, 2 2/3 innings. Go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 5-0. Your friend and mine, Ryan O'Rourke, will take the mound for the Blue Sox. O'Rourke making his 4th appearance of the season, 1-0, has not allowed a run in 4 innings. Just walked just 1 and struck out 10. Now with Wanet's performance tonight, he still is yet to walk a base runner this season. O'Rourke, I saw. Anyone else? I saw John Carlos. Yep. For Ben, yeah. As I got. That it? Okay. Anyone else new in the field this inning? Or no? Okay. Thank you. I do. O'Rourke last pitch on June 24th against Mass Envelope. Got the win in 2 innings of work, allowing 1 walk and striking out 6 with no runs or hits allowed. And before we even throw a pitch, Max Dushy going out to go over something with Ryan. Kinsella to lead things off. Takes ball 1. One and one as that one's fouled off. Kinsella, Rometta, and Roman due up. 2-1 is the count. Fly ball into left center field, going back to the wall, and no catch. It landed. And that'll be a leadoff double for Colin Kinsella. Second hit of the ball game for the Mad Dogs. And second time they've gotten a runner into scoring position. But down to their final 6 outs offensively and needing to make some headway here. Renetta ahead 1-0 after striking out swinging his first time up, but that was against Wanet. Fouls that one off and goes way out of play. 1-1 is the count. O'Rourke comes set, looks at second, and comes home with it. Down the right field line, that is down for a base hit, a fair ball. But a good bit of extension there in right field where that by Vanderzaan, where that turf can be tricky and create some chaotic bounces, will freeze the runners at first and third. So A base hit for Rhine. Runners at the corners, nobody out to begin the inning for the Mad Dogs. And here's Hector Roman. He takes strike one. Roman had the first base hit of the ball game for the Mad Dogs back in the fourth, leading off with a single. Lines this one, nearly speared by O'Rourke, but it gets into center field for a base hit. O'Rourke not happy with being unable to snag that one. A base hit, an RBI for Roman. And the Mad Dogs finally on the board. It is 5-1. Still nobody out. And still 2 runners on. And O'Rourke misses down and in for ball one. Into center field. Back goes Anderson to the wall. It is gone. It is a 1-run ball game. And still nobody out in the inning. Eric Ramirez, right center field, a 3-run piece, makes it a 1-run ball game. Here's Hatch. Strike one. Oh, the Blue Sox were on cruise control. Not no more. 0-2 to Hatch, who was 0 for 2 tonight. The first 4 of the inning reached. The first 4 have scored. Again, still nobody out in the bottom of the 6th. Hatch able to foul that one off. Stay alive at 0-2. O'Rourke delivers the breaking ball that's fouled off. Not what Blue Sox fans obviously are accustomed to seeing from the former big leaguer who played for the Mets and the Twins. Dushny giving the signals. Grounded foul. Hatch continuing to battle like the league leader in RBIs that he is, even though he's 0 for 2 so far. Popped up on the left side of the infield, and Jimenez has it. For out number 1. So Hatch is 0 for 3 after grounding out to third and flying out to right before that. Here is Sam Browning. He's 0 for 2. He fouls that one off. 1-1 is the count. double, single, single, home run have gotten the Mad Dogs within one here. All of those hits to begin this bottom of the sixth with the Blue Sox on cruise control until that point. That hit him? It did? Wow. So that puts a tying run on base on a hit by pitch on a 1-2 count. Browning is aboard, and that brings up Ting. Ting, who is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts looking, fouls that one off. It's 0 and 1. Outside, way too much run on that one. Count will even at 1. Breaking ball hits the inside corner. The count will be 1 and 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Huge strikeout there for O'Rourke. Ting is down on strikes for the third time. And here is Roque, 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout to right. Swing and a miss. Sometimes just got to go with old reliable. We saw Nelson spam the curveball, and O'Rourke can sling with the best of them in this league. Fouled off, and the count will be 0 and 2. In the top of the seventh, the Blue Sox will have Jimenez, Anderson, and Alvarez due up. You might have heard Rick DeAngelis and I talk about how the plan was for Salima to pinch hit, but I'm not sure if this closer game will change Rick's mind in that regard. May depend on the matchup too. If the Mad Dogs send a lefty out there, I think for sure you would keep Alvarez. This misses high for a ball. Eighth man to bat in the inning for the Mad Dogs is Roque. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And again, he blows the fastball by him to retire the side. But the Mad Dogs have made it interesting, to say the least. 4 runs on 4 hits, and they leave 1. We're through 6, 5-4, Blue Sox. Jack Wallace takes over on the mound for the Blue Sox as we get the top of the 7th underway in a brand new ball game after a 4-run, 4-hit outburst by the Mad Dogs in the bottom of the 6th got them to within 1. Anderson Jimenez hoping to erase his 0-for here, 0-for-3 to this point, and he is now even the count 1-1. Again, Jack Wallace, the new pitcher for the Mad Dogs after 2 2/3 innings and 8 strikeouts. That's right. All the guys you could possibly get by way of the K for Julian Nelson. And now Wallace ahead of AJ. 1-2. Old dribbler to third, slow roller, scoop, fire on to first. Nope, not going to happen. Infield single for Jimenez to begin the top of the 7th as the Blue Sox seek some insurance. Wallace is actually making his season debut for the Mad Dogs. Well, Anderson back to bat for the 4th time. He's been a thorn in the Mad Dogs' side tonight. Count is even at 1. Mentioned this is Wallace's season debut for the Mad Dogs. Last year, he only pitched in 1 game for Malden. 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 unearned run, 1 walk, and 3 Ks. And that was against the Sabretooth Expos on July 14th, 2023. So pitching for Malden for the first time in almost a full calendar year. Anderson tried to wait out that breaking ball and crush it, but a bit too far up and away for him to really do much with it. So the count will be 2-2. Again, Jimenez on first at the leadoff infield single. Count is full. 6 steals already tonight for the Blue Sox. 5 of them by the man at the plate, Anderson. Do we see Jimenez run here on the 3-2 is the question. He does, and it is outside for ball. Force no steal for AJ, but Nick does pick up a walk. His 2nd walk, in fact, of the game. He's 1 for 2 now. Single, reach on an error, and 2 walks. So it will be Andrew Salima with the righty on the mound here. So Alvarez finishes the night 1 for 2 with that RBI double and a run scored. And Salima takes ball 1, 1-0 with 1st and 2nd and nobody out. Blue Sox haven't had a hit since Lisco's RBI single in the 4th. Slow roller up the third base line. Salima ran it out, then the ball. Oh, wow, what a great job there to back up the throw and prevent Jimenez from walking home. Now, infield single for Salima. The bases are loaded with nobody out for Mitch McCabe. 2-run homer in the 1st. RBI single in the 3rd, a strikeout looking in the 5th. Swings at the 1st pitch. Grounder to short. They come home for the force there. So Jimenez is cut down. 6-2 for out number 1. And now it'll be up to Max Dushny. So the Blue Sox getting the first 2 and even the first 3 on with nobody out, but now the first 2 on the 5th with nobody out and didn't get anything home. can they do here? Dushney looking to avoid the golden sombrero. He is ahead 2-0 after striking out 3 times. Twice against Carrillo and once against Nelson. That hits the inside corner, 2-1. Breaking ball, nope, 3-1. There's spots where it can be very tempting to try and want to crush one a mile, but you don't need to do that here. Just got to get on base and force home a run any way you can, just like that. Anderson scores. Walk for Dush. RBI for Dush. And it is 6-4, and again, a crucial insurance run there for the Blue Sox, and that'll be fouled off for strike 1 to David Vanderzoen. 1 for 3 with a double and run scored. Hits this one into left field, and that will be caught. Tagging from third is Salima. The throw bounces short of the plate, and Salima scores standing up. It is 7-4 on the sac fly. So here is Jake Sawatsky. Walking to steal his last time up and fouls that one off for strike 1. In the bottom of the 7th, the Mad Dogs will have Beechin, Kinsella, and Rometta due up. Fouled off again, the count will be 0-2. Now, Mad Dogs certainly did not roll over and play dead tonight after the 5-0 early lead for the Blue Sox and give them a scare on bottom of the 6th. The Blue Sox getting some separation here, but we'll see if the Mad Dogs have some more bite in them in the bottom half. Grounder up the middle, fielded by the shortstop, who steps on second for the force. That retires the side. Blue Sox get 2 runs on 3 hits and leave 2. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Closing time for the Blue Sox, up 7-4. So after this game, the Blue Sox will be off until Monday, July 8th. We'll start a 4 games in 4 days stretch. They will host the Brighton Braves of the Yawkey League on Monday night. They'll visit the Stoneham Sabres back here at Maplewood on Tuesday. Back in Lexington to host our good friend Ed Neal and the Boston Padres of the Park League on Wednesday night. And then Thursday night they'll be at Cleveland Circle to take on the extra innings Braves of the Park League. And, well, the Blue Sox fell 3-2 to the defending Yawkey League champions Brighton Black Sox last week. See how they'll do against the EI Braves, defending Park League champions, Thursday night at Cleveland Circle. The Blue Sox actually only have 4 home games in the month of July, not including the eventual resumption of the suspended game against the Chiefs back on June 20th. They also have to make up a game against the East Boston Knights that was postponed a week ago Sunday. So O'Rourke back out there, and he gets Beechen to swing and miss for strike 1. Down in for ball 1. Costa's 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. 1 at the hands of Wannett and 1 at the hands of Deschanel. Grounder to the left side. Jimenez on to first. Spiked it, and it's up the line. Beechen's on his way to second. So an error to begin the bottom of the 7th puts a runner in scoring position. Tying run in the on-deck circle as Kinsella comes to the plate. 1 for 2 with a double and a run scored. His last time up in the 6th against O'Rourke. And strike 1 to Kinsella. Still some work to do. Kinsell's got to get on base any way he can to put the tying run at the plate, and that is a ball. 1-1. Last thing you want to do if you're the Blue Sox, as that is low for a ball, 2-1, is to allow Hatch to come up to the plate with a chance to tie or win it. Hatch is due up 6th in this inning. So the Mad Dogs really need to start the merry-go-round if they're going to give him a shot. But it's especially scary considering Hatch is due 0 for 3 to this point. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Got to throw down to first to complete the strikeout, and they do. Holding at second was Beechen. Strikeout number 3 for O'Rourke. Here's Renetta. 1 for 2. Strikeout in the 3rd. Single and run scored. Says down in for ball 1. Single run scored in the 6th. Of course, Eric Ramirez and Hector Roman are threats in their own right. And Roman's in the on-deck circle. There's the strike. 1-1. Remember, it was Ramirez who sent that 3-run shot to right center field to get the Mad Dogs within 1. This will be a grounder. Jimenez on to first. Redemption there. 2 down. To third goes Beechen. And now the lineup turns over for Roman. Last chance for the Mad Dogs here. Had the first hit of the ball game for Malden in the 4th. Single. And singled home run and scored last inning. And he takes outside for ball 1. So the tying run in Ramirez still in the on-deck still in the on-deck circle. 1-1. The winning run would be Hatch. And he is in the hole right now. 2-1. I mean, Roman's not a guy you just want to let on base, obviously. Can fly. 3-1. Trying Trying to see if the Blue Sox have anyone have had anyone warming behind O'Rourke. Well, that'll be fouled off. And it comes down to one pitch here. 3-2, 2 out. And the tying run still in the on-deck circle right now. The go-ahead run's still in the dugout. Not a position, though, I think the Blue Sox thought they'd be in. Up 5-0 with 6 outs to get. And there's a walk. And so that brings the tying run to the plate in the person of Eric Ramirez. 3-run home run his last time up off of Ryan O'Rourke. Well, made his intentions clear with that swing, I'm sure. 0-1. Well, great job by the Ramirez at the top of the line to wake up the Mad Dogs offense. Flew out to center to begin their turns. O'Rourke cannot believe it. You can see his hands go up. Like, are you serious? And Ramirez now with 2 singles and a walk after that fly out to center his first time up. He's going. Ground ball the other way is through for a base hit. Didn't see. I heard no contact off the bat, but he somehow got it off the handle into right field. Wide open side there with Ramirez going. Now Ramirez is at third. It's 7-5. And the winning run is at the plate. Down low for ball 1. And Roman's at third now. Meant to say Roman's at third. Beechin scores. Fouled off. 1-1. The larger point I was trying to make about my comment earlier about how, no team in a Blue Sox game tonight has overcome a deficit of more than 1 is that you need to be able to win tight games. You're going to win championships, and this is the tightest contest the Blue Sox have played all season. Throw down to second is not in time, but a good job to save from going into center field as Ramirez gets the stolen base, and Roman had to hold at third. So Roman at third, Ramirez at second. 2 strikes. Tying run in scoring position. Strike 3 call to the ball game is over. And exhale. A shaky outing, but when's the last time you saw a pitcher? I realized that was actually not a safe situation. I was going to say something about that for Ryan O'Rourke, but you can't pitch yourself into one. But, oh, man. The Blue Sox, I almost spoke it into existence and paid the price for it dearly. Talking about no team having overcome more than 1-run deficit in a Blue Sox game this season. These are the games you absolutely must win if you're going to get back to the top of the mountain. The Blue Sox held off a furious rally by the Mad Dogs. They may now be 3-11, but that offense, you see here, especially in this bandbox, no team can walk into this yard and take anything for granted, that's for sure. Mad Dogs gave the Blue Sox the fight of their life, or at least this season anyways. After that 8-0, no doubt, win for the Blue Sox back on June 15th. But Blue Sox end up sweeping the season series over the Mad Dogs. and they improve to 8-3-1. They will hold at first place going into the 4th of July break. However many days there are on that break, well, that's when you try to do Rick maths, right? Mad Dogs fall to 3-11. The winning pitcher is Chris Wannett. The losing pitcher is Rob Carrillo. Nick Anderson, with an E, mind you, goes 1 for 2 with 2 walks, 3 runs, and 5 steals. And Mitch McCabe, 2 for 4 with a 2-run home run and 3 RBIs overall. Thanks for watching this presentation of Lexington Blue Sox baseball here on the Blue Sox Baseball Network on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to this here YouTube channel and follow and support the Blue Sox and the ICL all year long by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and at InterCityLeagueBaseball.com. Our next broadcast will be Monday night, July 8th, 8 p.m. first pitch, as the Blue Sox host the Brighton Braves of the Yawkey League over at LHS. You know where to find us. Once again, the final score from Maplewood Park at Malden Catholic High School in Malden, Mass. It is the Lexington Blue Sox 7 and the Malden Maddogs 5. For all my rowdy friends here at Maplewood, my name is Sam Feely. Thanks for tuning in, and have a safe, happy, healthy 4th of July weekend. Love you, Katrina. Party hard, Caitlin.